Hi everyone and welcome to this video. Today I want to share with you another Oiran themed painting. I like this theme so much. I felt that I wasn't quite finished exploring this inspiration, so I decided to delve in even further. I find that I'm so in love with Geisha and Oiran because they are so fascinating in their beautifully exotic dresses, which are often imprinted with ornate petals and floral patterns. I couldn't stop myself from doing more. Real quick before we start, for more in-depth painting tutorials, head over to my Patreon page and select the $5 reward tier. You will gain instant access to over 50 downloadable painting tutorials, which provide you with insights into my work in progress. I also answer your questions and share helpful tips about art materials. For $10 a month, you get exclusive access to both my live stream and real-time painting videos. For $15 or more, you get beautiful art surprises, fine-art prints, original watercolor illustrations, and much more. Because there are not many pictures of Oiran and Geisha on the internet, I decided to create my own form of inspiration for this piece. To creatively explore all my options, I chose to design an original image for myself. To get the right shape, body posture and proportions, I chose to use a little doll called a body chan doll. I set the doll up in the desired pose and sat down and drew an image using the doll as a reference model. Then, because I wanted just the right inspiration for the design and details of the dress, I decided to access a large quantity of kimono design patterns that I kept on file. I found that referring to these images and picking and choosing my favorite elements from each print provide me with a much better way of getting just the right effect on the kimono dress. Typically, when I created paintings directly from inspirational images, I found that these patterns were very tiny, which made it difficult to see the finer details. Having access to a variety of kimono print patterns helped me to see the images more clearly, and I could pick the elements from within the designs that I found were the prettiest. Being able to pick and choose what I wanted to feature worked much better than trying to work literally from photographs. This was a revelation for me and I felt really happy, and I think this method will help me with future paintings. After having reviewed many of the different geisha inspirational reference images, I began to memorize the different hairstyles. I started to see similar traditional elements used again and again within the various hairstyles. For example, I frequently saw hairpins, combs, flowers and various other adornments placed in the hair and around the necks of a geisha to help hold the hairstyles together. I used to need to review the images often, but after a while I found that I didn't even need to refer to them at all because I began to understand how they worked. I find that I sometimes get stuck working within my comfort zone, and I realized that when I paint geishas and oirans, it is a familiar tendency to depict them with traditionally pale complexions. For this piece, I wanted to make sure to celebrate my deep appreciation for diversity by depicting geisha and Oiran themed clothing and stylings on someone of a darker complexion. I also wanted to artistically combine things that aren't traditionally aligned with each other. For example, when one thinks of the traditional geisha and Oiran culture, they might only consider people of an Asian descent. I thought it was important and fun to show this added diversity. Next, I will begin sharing a bit about my art making process. I always start by painting the face on an image. I feel it is important to start with the face because it is a key component and one of the trickiest elements. Plus, the face brings so much beauty to the image. If I wait to do the face last and it gets messed up, I have to do a lot more work to mend the painting rather than just starting it all over again. To paint the face, I used both watercolor and gouache. I use gouache for the lips because when you paint lips, there's a small line on the top of the lip that is often highlighted, and I achieve this highlighted effect with gouache. After I finish painting the face, I begin working on the hairstyle. In this painting I choose to go with grey hair, since it is unique and not frequently seen among geisha and Oiran. In this painting I wanted to change everything up and to incorporate many unexpected elements. As I mentioned earlier, I love to try to play with the different traditional elements when designing a hairstyle, and I am glad to put my own spin on them. Yet I find it hard to create distinction between the finer adornments and the overall hairstyle, because they are smaller and tend to get muddy. For this reason, I have to concentrate hard and focus with great care when I paint in these elements so that I avoid muddiness. I also outline them in watercolor so that they are distinguished from the other aspects of the hair. I also apply contour to every element. When working on the kimono patterns, I applied the same technique I used on the hairstyle to create a separation between the various elements. Additionally, to further enhance the designs, I take advantage of applying gel pen ink onto the image. Since many of the kimono patterns feature gold in their color theme, I used both gold and white colored gel pens to capture the finer elements. I outline and contour various aspects of the pattern with these added colored gel pens, after I have applied watercolor to fill in the overall dress pattern. This little trick allows me to add so many additional details to the work. It is advantageous to use gel pens because they are way easier than using brush and acrylics. Also, since gel pens are opaque, I can highlight and contour the various elements of the image to refine the edges around areas. Even if the watercolor itself is a little messy, I can use gel pens to make corrections. And by the way, thank you so much for suggesting me your gel pen and acrylic pen brands in the last video. I'm super excited to try them out, and your help is greatly appreciated. And thank you for joining me today. A limited edition of finer prints of all my new Geisha and Oiran inspired paintings is available in my online shop. If you can't decide which one you like the most, get the bundle and save over 20%. I hope the content was helpful for you, and if you liked what you saw, please click like and subscribe to my channel. If you are interested in learning more about my work, or if you would like to become a patron and gain access to more extensive how-to videos, please visit my Patreon page. I will provide the link below. See you in the next one. Bye bye!